Undira Universitas Dianapura, salam teladan dari Universitas Dianapura. Saya Rektor Universitas Dianapura memperkenalkan tentang Universitas Dianapura. Kami memiliki 3 fakultas, Fakultas Bisnis, Pariwisata, Pendidikan, dan Humaniora. Fakultas yang kedua, Fakultas Kesehatan dan Sains, dan fakultas yang ketiga, Fakultas Teknologi dan Informatika.
Selamat datang di Universitas Dianapura, Universitas Teladan dan Unggulan. Universitas Dianapura menjadi salah satu perguruan tinggi swasta di Bali yang mendapatkan akreditasi baik sekali. Inilah gerbang utama Universitas Dianapura yang terkoneksi langsung dengan areal parkir yang luas. Universitas Dianapura memiliki 3 fakultas. Yang pertama, Fakultas Bisnis, Pariwisata, Pendidikan, dan Humaniora yang terdiri dari program studi Magister Manajemen, program studi Manajemen, program studi Sastra Inggris, program studi Pendidikan Guru Anak Usia Dini, program studi Pendidikan Kesejahteraan Keluarga, program studi Akuntansi, program studi Manajemen Perhotelan Diploma 4, dan program studi Manajemen Pemasaran Diploma 3. Yang kedua, Fakultas Kesehatan dan Sains yang terdiri dari program studi Fisioterapi, program studi Gizi, program studi Kesehatan Masyarakat, program studi Psikologi, program studi Perekam dan Informasi Kesehatan, dan program studi Biologi. Yang ketiga, Fakultas Teknologi dan Informatika yang terdiri dari program studi Teknologi Informatika dan program studi Sistem Informasi. Untuk menunjang kegiatan akademik, Universitas Dianapura memiliki fasilitas mulai dari ruangan kelas yang nyaman, berbagai laboratorium, di antaranya laboratorium komputer, laboratorium fisioterapi, laboratorium biologi, laboratorium PAUD, laboratorium multimedia, laboratorium kitchen, laboratorium restoran dan bar, laboratorium front office, dan laboratorium housekeeping. Ruangan teater, perpustakaan dengan ruangan yang nyaman dan berbagai fasilitas di dalamnya. Kami juga memiliki aula yang megah dan klinik kesehatan. Universitas Dianapura memiliki misi sebagai pusat pembentukan manusia seutuhnya yang berkualitas secara akademis, berkarakter profesional, perilaku, dan spiritual.
Salam teladan dan unggulan dari Universitas Dianapura. Kami Universitas Dianapura memiliki visi untuk menjadi perguruan tinggi teladan dan unggulan di tahun 2048. Kami juga mendidik dan membentuk mahasiswa untuk memiliki karakter sesuai dengan 7 karakter yang kami miliki, yaitu yang pertama integritas, yang kedua percaya diri, yang ketiga entrepreneurship, yang keempat profesionalitas, yang kelima keberagaman, yang keenam memiliki jiwa kepemimpinan yang melayani, dan yang ketujuh berwawasan global. Untuk dapat mewujudkan itu semua, kita harus apik, adaptif, profesional, inovatif, dan kreatif. Terima kasih.
Distinguished guests, honorable speakers, respected participants and colleagues, welcome to the second International Conference of Fundamental and Applied Research, I-CFAR 2025, organized by Universitas Dianapura Bali, Indonesia. We would like to announce and remind you all, to the audience who are present in Dianapura, the main entrance door is located right behind you, and with the emergency door is on the left and right side. Please set your communication device in silent mode or mute feature. Presenters who join through Zoom platform, please rename with the format room, space, full name, and non-presenter just need to put your whole name. If later, during this Zoom session, you faced any technical Zoom problem, please leave the room momentarily and come log back in. You may able to use the second I-CFAR Zoom background as it sends to your email. In a few minutes, we will start the second International Conference of Fundamental and Applied Research, I-CFAR 2025. For all attendees who are currently outside of this e-building auditorium, you may proceed as we are about to start.
Selamat datang di Universitas Dianapura. Video ini akan memandu Anda melalui prosedur keamanan standar. Izinkan saya mengenalkan aula yang terletak di lantai 3 Gedung A. Ruang pertemuan serbaguna yang menjadi pusat kegiatan akademik dan kebudayaan. Pertama, perhatikan denah aula gedung ini. Di sini Anda dapat melihat jalur evakuasi yang ditandai dengan pointer atau rambu hijau, beserta petunjuk panah. Pastikan Anda selalu mengetahui lokasi pintu darurat dan titik kumpul yang telah ditetapkan. Informasi ini sangat penting saat terjadi keadaan darurat. Jika terjadi situasi darurat seperti kebakaran, gempa bumi, atau ancaman lainnya, ikuti langkah-langkah berikut. Yang pertama, tetap tenang. Jangan panik, dengarkan instruksi dari petugas keamanan. Yang kedua, ikuti jalur evakuasi. Segera menuju pintu darurat terdekat, jangan menggunakan lift. Yang ketiga, bantulah sesama. Yang keempat, kumpul di titik kumpul. Setelah keluar, arahkan diri ke titik kumpul yang telah ditetapkan. Setiap aula dilengkapi dengan alat pemadam api yang ditempatkan strategis. Dalam darurat, warna helm menandakan peran tim untuk respon cepat dan terkoordinasi. Helm merah, keamanan dan kepemadaman. Helm biru, evakuasi pasien. Helm putih, mengamankan dokumen. Helm kuning, mengamankan alat medis. Kita semua dapat berkontribusi dalam menciptakan lingkungan yang aman dan nyaman di Universitas Dianapura. Ingat, keselamatan adalah tanggung jawab bersama. Stay safe, stay informed.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Damai Sejahtera, Om Swastiastu. His Excellency Rector of Universitas Dianapura, distinguished keynote speakers, the Honorable Vice Rectors of Universitas Dianapura, Deans and faculty members of Universitas Dianapura, Head of Research and Community Empowerment, all presenters and conference participants. It is a great honor to welcome you to the second International Conference of Fundamental of Applied Research, I-CFAR 2025, from Dianapura University. This conference brings together researchers, academics, and practitioners from all over Indonesia and across the globe to share studies and thoughts on the topic, Transforming Interdisciplinary for Sustainable Development, Challenges and University Opportunities. Through this theme, we aim to explore innovative approaches and interdisciplinary research that contribute to a more sustainable future. We are honored to have you here with us in Bali. As a sign of our gratitude, we present a traditional Balinese dance called Sekar Jagat. This dance is symbolizing harmony and unity in diversity. Please give a warm round of applause for Dianapura students. once again. Let's give applause for Indira students. Let us take a brief moment of prayer for Thanksgiving and to ask for guidance from the Almighty for today's activities. The prayer led by Dr. Kristi Mulia Purnama Trimurti.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. I will pray in Christianity. Let us pray. Thank you, Lord. We are grateful for today. We will begin the international conference activities. Please help us so this event this morning until afternoon. In the name of the Lord Jesus, we have prayed. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for national anthem Indonesia Raya. Please be seated. Distinguished guests and all conference participants, welcoming remarks from the organizing committee chair. Please welcome to Dr. Imade Wisnu Adiputra.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, Rahayu, Rahayu, Rahayu. The Honorable Rector of Universitas Dianapura, Rector of University of Miyazaki, Rector of University of Greater Manchester, Vice Rector at Universitas Dianapura, the Dean at Universitas Dianapura, the honorable keynote speakers, academic and researchers, colleges from various institutions, and all participants of the conference whom I greatly respect. First of all, we offer our praise and gratitude to God Almighty, for it is by His grace that we can all attend the second international conference on fundamental and applied research, or I-CFAR 2025, theme transforming interdisciplinary research and sustainable development, challenges and opportunities. This conference is organized by Institution for Research and Community Service, Universitas Dianapura, in collaboration with University of Miyazaki and University of Greater Manchester. Respected guests, participants in the I-CFAR 2025 include researchers, lecturers, and students. The keynote speakers at this conference are Professor Tamaki Okabayashi, PhD, from University of Miyazaki, Japan, Associate Professor T.S. Dr. Ala Kesapa Rao from University of Greater Manchester, UK, and Dr. Nate Idobagus Agung Yogeswara, MSc, from Universitas Dianapura. This conference is attended by 134 participants, including 118 oral presenters and 16 non-presenters. The presenters involved in this conference come from various institutions, namely Universitas Dianapura, University of Suzuka, Japan, Sumatra Institute of Technology, Islamic State University, Palu, Udayana University, 11 Maret University, Christian Maranatha University, Universitas Widya Gama Malang, Institut Agama Kristen Negeri Palangkaraya, Palangkaraya University, ITB Stikom Bali, Sekolah Tinggi Bisnis Runata, Dwi Jendra University, and Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha. Distinguished guests, this conference is made possible through the support, efforts, and assistance of all parties involved. Therefore, I would like to extend my gratitude to our sponsor, Bali Berfak and Prodia. We extend our gratitude to the rector, the vice rector, and the dean at Universitas Dianapura for their support and providing the facilities for this conference. We would also like to acknowledge the dedicated efforts of all committee members whose enthusiastic preparation have made today's gathering possible. On behalf of the organizing committee, I apologize for any shortcomings in the implementation of these events, as we acknowledge that nothing is perfect. To conclude, I extend my sincere appreciation to every contributor to this successful conference. It is through such forums, collaboration, and knowledge exchange that we can advance our field and collectively ensure science has a profound impact on sustainable development. Thank you. Om Santi Santi Santi.
Thank you, Dr. Wisnu, for your inspiring remarks. We are deeply honored to invite Professor Dr. Igusti Bagus Rai Utama, Rector of Universitas Dianapura, to deliver the opening speech and continue.
Good morning for all. Honorable keynote speaker, special for Associate Professor Dr. Alak Kesavarao from TNE Asian Strategic Head, University of Greater Manchester, UK. Thank you for coming and for keynote speaker. Professor Tamaki Okabayashi, PhD, Vice Director at the Center of Animal Disease Control, University of Miyazaki, Japan. And also for Dr. Nat Tek Ida Bagus Agung Yogeswara STP MSc, Department of Nutrition of Center Excellence in Nutribon, Universitas Dianapura. Honorable keynote speaker, guests and respected colleagues and dear participant in on-site and online. Good morning and warm welcome to the International Seminar on Transforming Interdisciplinary Research for Sustainable Development, Challenge and Opportunity. Maybe this term we will change in the next year because we will left off two of the term in research. We will change I-CFAR into I-CFAR DS. What is I-CFAR DS? International Conference, Fundamental Applied Research, Development and Sustainability. Yeah, in next year. On behalf of Universitas Dianapura, I am deeply honored to extend our greeting and appreciation to all who have joined us today, whether on-site, also online from various institutions and countries. I saw from the books of the proceedings from Japan, from Korea, also from UK. At Universitas Dianapura, academic excellence and social contribution are essential value rooted in the spirit of the three dharma of higher education, education, research, community services. We Indonesia, we have three dharma or three of obligation in our working in professor, as the professor should be in teaching, research and community services. Combined with the three of percentage, I guess 40% in teaching, 50% in research, and only 10% in the community services. Each year, Dianapura University hold two national seminar. Each year, 1 year in seminar, international national seminar, and it's 2 years in international seminar like this times. This event are integral academic tradition that provide a researcher, lecturer, and student with valuable opportunity to disseminate the output of their research as well as their community services outcome. The term of this seminar reflects an urgent and shared responsibility to transform interdisciplinary research into driving force for sustainable development. The challenge we face today, from environmental change and social inequality, cannot be solved by one discipline, cannot be isolated by one discipline. They require us to build bridge between science, technologies, humanity, and social science, uniting diverse perspectives to create impactful and lasting change. Through this seminar, we hope not only to exchange theoretical insight, but also to identify practical solutions that can be implemented within community. May this event inspire new collaborations across discipline and institutions, strengthen academic network, contribute meaningfully to global effort toward a more scientific future and sustainable future. To all speakers and presenter, as well as to all participants, may today interaction enrich your professionalism and also innovative idea. Again, on behalf of Universitas Dianapura, I welcome you to this international seminar. Let us continue learning, collaborating, and transforming together for the improvement of our world. Good morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor. Please remain on stage. We invite Vice Rectors, Head of Research and Community Empowerment, Committee Chair of Second I-CFAR, and keynote speakers to stage to officially open the Second I-CFAR 2025. We will continue with the photo session. Please remain on stage. All right, thank you, and you may be seated. With deeply gratitude, please allow me to recognize partners and sponsors. University of Miyazaki, University of Greater Manchester, Prodia, Bali Bird Park. Without the support of our partners and sponsors, this conference will not have been possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proceeding to the keynote speaker sessions. To introduce the distinguished speakers, please welcome our moderator, Mr. Putukris Susanto. Putukris Susanto, lecturers, Putukris Susanto lecturers in the Faculty of Business and Tourism, Dianapura University. His research interests include service marketing, branding, and social entrepreneurship, especially for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Currently, he is the coordinator of international courses at the International Office of Undira. Please welcome Mr. Putukris Susanto.
Thank you, Ibu Christine. The Honorable Rector and Vice Rectors of Dianapura University, all distinguished speakers, guests, as well as all participants and presenters in I-CFAR 2025. It's a great honor for me to be here to guide you through this session, the keynote speech session. We have three notable keynote speakers, in which I'm going to divide into two sessions. The first session is going to be presented by Professor Tamaki Okabayashi. Professor Okabayashi regrets that he's unable to join with us here on site. He has prepared a remarks or his keynote speech asynchronously as he is on travel right now. We will be watching the video of Professor Okabayashi. If you have any questions for him, at the end of the remarks, there will be a QR code of our organizer. You can send your question directly to him through that, and it will be answered personally. So before we begin, I would like to introduce a brief profile of Professor Tamaki Okabayashi. He was born in Hyogo, Japan. He is an accomplished veterinary microbiologist and infectious disease expert. He's been recognized in cross-discipline, multidisciplinary research that bridges veterinary science, human medicine, and tropical infectious disease control. He collaborates internationally, particularly between Japan, Thailand, and other Asian countries, including Indonesia. And he has significantly contributed to the understanding of zoonotic disease transmission, which we will learn here shortly, and developing innovative diagnostic and preventive strategies. He is currently a professor at the Laboratory of Veterinary Biology, Department of Veterinary Medicine, in the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Miyazaki, Japan. He is also the Vice Director for the Center for Animal Disease Control at the University of Miyazaki. He is also a visiting professor in Mahidol University in Thailand and a specially appointed associate professor for the Research Institute of Microbial Diseases in Osaka University. He received his PhD in veterinary public health, as well as doctor in veterinary medicine, both from Rakuno Gakuin University in Japan. His research interests include zoonotic and emerging infectious diseases that connects the zoological world and human world, veterinary microbiology and virology, animal-human interface diseases, and he's been recognized for over 90 publications, international publication within the past 1 to 2 decades alone. Ranging from severe fever with SARS-CoV-2 and antiviral studies, zoonotic disease surveillance, and so on. He's been collaborating with various experts in East Asia and Southeast Asia, which we will learn shortly. For this video, especially for those of you who are joining from Zoom, it is recommended that you will use your headset because Professor Okabayashi tends to be a little bit soft-spoken. And for those of us who is in the main room of Undira Hall E, if you can please keep your noise level to a minimum so we can greatly appreciate what Professor Okabayashi has prepared for us. Please, the IT team, time is yours.
Thank you for inviting me as a keynote speaker for International Conference of Fundamental and Applied Research. My name is Tamaki Okabayashi. I'm a Vice Director of Center for Animal Disease Control, University of Miyazaki, Japan. I'm sorry that I cannot join this symposium and this talk is recorded. My mission in this symposium is to introduce the CADIC as a multi-sectoral collaboration for handling problem of zoonotic diseases. Today, I will present our current tackling for zoonotic disease control. The title of my talk is CADIC, One Health Platform for Zoonotic Disease Response. This work is based on the One Health concept. I will share how we tackle zoonotic disease through this platform. Before I start the main topic, let me explain about the CADIC. CADIC, this is a symbol of our center, Center for Animal Disease Control, so we called it CADIC. Our prefecture Miyazaki is located in the south part in Japan. And Miyazaki prefecture is a major livestock area in Japan. So there are so many animal farms in this area. However, several livestock disease outbreaks have occurred. The most serious was FMD, foot and mouth diseases. Until then, Japan had been free from the FM diseases. That is why the outbreak caused such a severe economic impact in this area. From this outbreak, what we learned? Because here I show that we didn't know that we don't know the FMD because we are basically FMD free country. So we didn't know the real information about the FMD. So we noticed that practice experience is necessary. And furthermore, we have to develop the international education program. And we understand that need to develop the international network between the foreign country, especially the Asian country, or countermeasure for preventing emerging and transboundary infectious diseases. Based on this experience, our center, CADIC, Center for Animal Disease Control, was set up in the University Miyazaki 2011. And as a CADIC, we have established an advanced education system for animal disease control through collaboration between the industry, local government, and academic utility and the field of livestock and zoonotic diseases in the Miyazaki Prefecture. It built a broad collaboration system including not only veterinarian, but also medical doctor or other researcher and other expert on the platform on the One Health concept. This slide shows the answer for what is CADIC. Under the One Health concept, we conducted advanced international research on infectious diseases. Okay, let's move to the main topic about the zoonotic diseases. Zoonoses are diseases that originated in animal and can infect humans, such as avian influenza, rabies, Rift Valley fever, and brucellosis, blah blah blah. Some human diseases like Ebola also have animal reservoir. However, some zoonoses can move from the human to animal and then back to human. This is called reverse zoonotic. Globalization, climate change, and human behavior increase this risk, giving a faster and more chance to spread and evolve. Today, I want to focus only the tick-borne diseases in zoonotic diseases. It is transmitted by the tick like this. Currently, tick-borne diseases are reported in many parts of the world. Recently, advances in genetic analysis have led to the discovery of new viruses from the tick. This slide shows a number of studies that collected data on tick-borne diseases. As you can see, research papers and case reports on tick have increased since 2010. Here we focus on which tick-borne diseases are included. Here you can see the list of the tick-borne diseases. Except for African swine fever, all of them are zoonotic diseases. Today, I would like to focus on this disease, Fan-Yan-Shan virus, formerly called Fan-Yan-Shan, but now known as a Banda virus. This virus causes a disease called SFTS, severe fever with thrombocytopenia syndrome, commonly known as SFTS. The disease was first identified in China in reported 2011, but retrospectively traced back to human cases in 2007. Initially, symptoms of the SFTS were reported to include sudden onset fever and gastrointestinal symptoms, omitting diarrhea, and hemorrhagic also. This case was reported in farmer and hunter, so they are living in the mountainous area. So, at first, the disease was thought to be a tick-borne disease, viral infection with Haemophilus longicornis. Soon after the publication of these cases of the patient with SFTS were reported in Korea and Japan like this. And further cases were reported in Asian countries. There is concern about the possible spread of this infection to Africa, like this. On the map, Indonesia appears to have no cases, but this may be due to a lack of the surveillance. I would be very happy to collaborate with anyone on this. The causative virus of SFTS, Banda virus, belongs to the genus Banda virus, formerly named Flavivirus in the Phenytophilidae family, formerly named Bunyaviridae. SFTS belongs to the order of the Bunyaviridae. It included CCHF, Crimea Congo hemorrhagic fever, or HFRS, hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome. This virus is similar to other severe infectious diseases, so you can imagine its potential risk. This slide shows the clinical symptoms of this patient in Japan. The symptom highlighted in orange is specific to the fatal cases like this one. The case fatality rate at the time of notification is around 11%, but many patients continue to deteriorated and die afterward. As a result, final case fatality rate reach around 26 to 30%. And our prefecture, Miyazaki, is the highest incident area of these diseases. So this is a newspaper. At that time, they reported that SFTS patient achieved to the totally 100 cases in our province. So here you can see that. At that time, mortality rate is like this, 26% at that time. This slide shows a life cycle of tick-borne diseases pathogens in nature and the route of pathogen infection in human. Tick-borne diseases are maintained two sub-cycles, tick-maintained cycle and transvariant cycle, like this one. Most tick go through 4 life stage: egg, 6-leg larva, 8-leg nymph, and adult stages. They must eat at every stage to survive. Humans are primarily infected with tick-borne disease pathogen when bitten by the positive tick. To clarify the real situation of the SFTS virus in Miyazaki, we conducted a survey in Miyazaki for deer, wild boar, rodent, and tick. The results show that high prevalence of SFTS in deer and wild boar, but not rodent. For tick, the general positive rate of SFTS in Japan is less than 1%. However, tick we collected it around the SFTS patient house showed very high positive rate, almost 12%. Furthermore, we succeeded the SFTS virus isolation from this tick. It was the first report of SFTS virus isolation from tick in Japan. Like this, it was thought that SFTS was transmitted by the tick, but risk of the new route of infections were reported. In Korea and China, humans were also infected with SFTS after they took care for SFTS patient. They directly contacted with body fluid of the patient as a viremia. That is reasonable. However, new problem is here. This is another risk. One woman died with SFTS after being bitten by a stray cat in Japan, but unfortunately, that cat escaped. It may run away after bite, so SFTS infection in cat couldn't be confirmed. But that woman was died with SFTS, so everybody doubted the relationship of the cat for SFTS transmission to human. So after that, then Japanese NIH started the surveillance for cat, and they found that the first case of the SFTS 2017. And furthermore, cheetahs in zoo have died from the SFTS 2017. These cases show that feline species are highly susceptible for the SFTS infection. To confirm this, this NIH group surveyed the cats and the dog in nationwide. Like human, SFTS in cat occur mainly Western Japan at first with highly prevalence. Especially Miyazaki is one of the high prevalence prefecture. And furthermore, the fatality rate in cat is very high, it reaching about 60%. Here we introduce a case that SFTS can be transmitted from cat to human directly in Miyazaki Prefecture. We reported in the emerging infectious diseases. 2 veterinary personnel in Japan were infected with SFTS while handling a sick cat, and we confirmed that whole genome sequencing of SFTS isolated from the personnel and the cat. They were 100% identical. These results indicated a nosocomial outbreak of SFTS virus infection in an animal hospital without tick. Furthermore, we confirmed that the many viruses were shed from this cat body fluid, not only the serum, but also oral swab or the anal swab. Some SFTS patients who were infected with SFTS virus by cat bite or by close contact with body fluid of sick cat have also been reported in Japan. 2. Veterinary doctor and nurse are high risk of being infected through direct contact with sick cat. To confirm this risk, we performed a sero-epidemiological survey in small animal practice worker and healthy blood donor in Miyazaki. Small animal practice worker was slightly higher than that previous report in other high-risk worker engineered in the agriculture and forestry in Japan. Our results have provided further evidence that small animal practice workers are at risk of the occupational exposure to SFTS. The result of this study demonstrates that necessary for the establishment of veterinary standard precaution and improved biosafety education for veterinary and veterinary nurse. From this finding, we concluded that SFTS not only cycle between the large animal and the tick in forest, but also spread in urban area from the infected cat to human, especially veterinarian and pet owner. To protect the people from SFTS, control measure must consider not only tick in the environment, but also the infected animal. To achieve this, collaboration under the One Health umbrella is essential, linking medicine, veterinary medicine, and environmental science. The synergy will accelerate research, strengthen public health, expand knowledge, and improve education and clinical care. Implementing the One Health approach is essential to address global change caused by the major environmental change such as climate change and population growth. So what we did, actually we made a SFTS research team at the University of Miyazaki. Of course, CADIC make a bridge of the Faculty of Agriculture and the Faculty of Medicine. And the university hospital accepts the human patient. And furthermore, we can accept the sick cat in the animal hospital in the Faculty of Agriculture, because in that hospital they already established such a special room to the biosafety room for sick cat. So in this room, veterinary cat treat these cat safety. Also, if someone touch a sick animal or scratched, we quickly send them to the human hospital and ask them to the test, even if without the clinical sign. And we also care people who lost their pets, like a mental health research group. Of course, we have an investigation and research group. They are performing the research, epidemiological research, basic research, and pathological research. Furthermore, we are trying to develop the vaccine and the diagnosis kit. Furthermore, we are expanding this team network between the medical and veterinary field outside of the university. In Miyazaki Prefecture, we share information about the SFTS from hospital, about the human cases, public health center, about the tick. They have a lot of the tick information, and we, CADIC, we have a lot of the information of the animal. Also, in this triangle, we are sharing the information of the human, animal, tick in this triangle. This helps us build a local SFTS network. From this data, we found risk factor and teach the people and we educated the Miyazaki people how to stay safe or how to handle the sick cat. Now we are trying to develop the guideline hazard map seminar to help prevent the SFTS infection in Miyazaki Prefecture. So at CADIC, we are building a One Health platform that connected medicine, veterinary medicine, and many other fields. We use the SFTS now spreading first in Asia as a model of zoonotic diseases, but it's just model. Our goal is to create strong system for preventing a response for new zoonotic diseases. This is our One Health platform for zoonotic disease response. Thank you for listening. So I want to appreciate I want to express my great appreciation for this collaborator and sponsor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was the keynote speech by Dr. Okabayashi, Professor Okabayashi. One of the highlights that I can note is about SFTS. It's a tick-borne disease that has quite high mortality rate. As for the knowledge of the professor, there hasn't been reported cases in Indonesia, but perhaps this is due to lack of surveillance, and there is no surveillance here yet. So as such, there is a collaborative research opportunity here, especially within the intersection of the fields of medicine, veterinary science, and public health. Once again, if anybody has any questions, you may direct it to this WhatsApp number of our committee member, which will forward it to Dr. Okabayashi, and he will answer your question directly. So if you want to take a moment and take a screenshot or take a photo of this QR code, you are more than welcome. Thank you. Next, I'm going to continue us with the second part of the keynote speeches, where we have two distinguished guests here with us in the room of Hall E, Dianapura University. First, I would like to read the profiles of both speakers as we will invite them up onto the stage. The first one is Associate Professor T.S. Dr. Kesavar Rao Ala. He is a distinguished academic leader, researcher, and strategist in higher education. He's currently serving as the Chief Strategist at the University of Greater Manchester, with whom Undira Dianapura University is engaging in academic as well as publication and joint research efforts. We hope to be able to engage more in this in the future. Professor Ala was the Chief Operating Officer at the Masa Group of academic institution in Malaysia, where he spearheaded institutional transformation, strategic partnership, and internationalization. He also serves as an advisor to the University of Wolverhampton in the UK on transnational education development for Southeast Asia and collaborates with universities all across Europe. Over the last 2 decades of leadership in higher education and ICT, Dr. Ala has shaped institutional strategy, curriculum innovation, and strategic sustainable development for higher education. He is recognized in Malaysia, in the UK, and Europe for his efforts. His research expertise lies in green computing, AI for sustainable development, renewable energy systems, carbon neutral computing models, and quantum computing. His doctoral research on ICT explored the intersection of agile software engineering, energy efficiency, and sustainability in a digital system. He's supervised and examined numerous PhD theses in both ICT and management, as well as he is the senior member of the IEEE and member of several professional bodies, including the British Computer Society, as well as the Institution of Engineering and Technology, among others. He is engaged in fostering global academic dialogue. His role within the educational system within and across Asia, as well as Europe, reflects his enduring commitment to inclusive access for technology and education. At the moment, he focuses on bridging quantum computing, sustainable technology, and global energy transitions, exploring how qubit-based computation and AI-driven optimization can advance sustainable goals and green digital transformation. In championing the theme from qubits to sustainability, Dr. Ala advocates a vision in which quantum intelligence, ethical AI, and green computing can converge together to empower humanity's transformation towards a smarter, cleaner, and a more sustainable planet. Please help me welcome Professor Ala to the stage. All right. And next, I would like to welcome our presenter, Undira's own, Dr. Natteh Ida Bagus Yogeswara, STP MSc, or better known by most of us as Dr. Yogi. He is the head of the Nutrition Study Program at the Faculty of Health and Sciences at Dianapuria University, as where he is also the chair of the Central for Excellence on Nutribiome. Dr. Yogi earned his bachelor's degree in food technology from Universitas Udayana, continuing his master's degree in food and nutrition science from Gadjah Mada University, and his doctorate in natural and technical sciences from the University of Natural Resources and Life Sciences, Boku in Austria. He also completed a postdoctoral fellowship at Universitas Gadjah Mada. Among his various notable research interests in the field of nutrition, microbiology, food technology, Dr. Yogi and his team is well known nationally for their research on gamma aminobutyric acid, or GABA. Over the past decade, he has published extensively in high-impact international journals within this field. Beyond his publication records, he also serves as a reviewer for several reputable Q1 Scopus Index journals, including those published by Springer and Elsevier, reflecting his recognized expertise and contribution to the scientific field globally. His innovative research, along with his team here in Undira and elsewhere, has resulted in multiple granted patents. We count up to now 6 and counting, in the areas of probiotic, plant-based functional food formulation, which further demonstrate the practical and commercial relevance to his for his scientific work. Dr. Yogeswara's research is especially groundbreaking, especially in GABA, and the potential for developing functional foods for human health and for commercial uses. He continues to lead national funded research projects supported by BRIN and the University of Dianapura, and as well as the Ministry of Higher Education. Please welcome with us Dr. Ide Bagus Agung Yogeswara. I would like to give the first opportunity for our distinguished guest, Dr. Ala, to talk about from qubits to sustainability, how quantum computing will refine green technology. We're eager to hear your insights on this. The time is yours.
Well, good morning, distinguished guests. Professor Dr. Aigusti Bogus Rai Uttama, the Honorable Rector, and the Honorable Vice Rectors. Let me start with Dr. Ni Madiana Arfayani, Vice Rector for Academic Research and Innovation, Dr. Ahmed Ilya Chahaya, Vice Rector for Financial Administration and Human Resource, Dr. I. Vayan Ruspandi Junaidi, Vice Rector for Student Affairs, Cooperation and Marketing, Ni Putu Vidya Asuti, Head of Department for Research and Community Empowerment, Dr. Ahmed Vishnu Adi Putra, Chairman of Organizing Committee for the second I-CFAR. Colleagues, students, friends, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to welcome you all to this inspiring gathering here in the beautiful island Bali, a place always where tradition meets innovation. Today, we come together to explore how quantum intelligence and sustainability can shape smarter and greener future. My topic today, I'm going to talk about qubits to sustainability. I hope our discussions will bridge science, ethics, and purpose, showing how technology can serve humanity and the planet alike. I wish this conference spark new ideas, meaningful collaborations, and lasting friendships. And let me begin with my topic here today. Yeah, it's on the screen, from qubits to sustainability. First, my name is Kesava, and there was a long description already given before this. So thank you for kindly introducing me. I represent University of Greater Manchester today. The next slide, please. This is Chief Seattle. The great history lies behind this gentleman who lived in what is today's Seattle in America, USA. This man is Native American who inspired my research through his word. He said, we do not inherit this earth from our ancestors. Actually, we borrow it from our children. Small word he said, but a great meaning. He says that, please do not take environment as granted. We did not get this from our ancestors. Actually, we are borrowing it from our children. Me too. That means we need to keep this planet safe and enjoyable or livable for our future generations. This word inspired me way back 20 years ago when I started my research in finding on sustainability. And in everywhere I quote his name. And he is the man donated the land where today's Seattle City is there. Next please. So sustainability is a long topic. We can talk and we can do. There is a lot of research going on throughout the world. Many researchers like yourself are working. It's a vast area. I limit myself to something we do every day, morning, evening, 24/7, which is with computers and with mobile phones. What do we do with these gadgets all the day? Before we sleep also, we look at the gadget and our day start again with the gadget again. Of course, we do read a lot of advices that keep the mobile phone away before you sleep, 1 hour before. I don't think we follow that advice as well. How many of you, honestly, I don't know. This is only for children. We advise them, but they are also not listening because they spend more time than us in front of the digital screens. But it was very interesting for me when I started my research that when we look at these gadgets and the screens all the time, what is happening? Of course, we say that there is a Blu-ray emissions that affect our vision and then got a lot of side health effects about that. That's fine. But there is also an important factor to know that there is a lot of energy being consumed. This energy, in terms of electricity, if it is produced in sustainable way, that's fine. But most of the times in developing nations, it's not. So I thought, what do we do with this? And that's the starting point way back around 18, 19 years ago when I started my research. So today, let me take you through this journey with me in this specific facet where we only talk and focus on green computing. Next, please. And these emissions, if you look at that on the top, according to International Energy Agency, the global energy-related CO2 emissions are 37.4 billion tons in 23, which is 1.1% higher than the previous year. Our average temperature on the planet has risen by 1.2 degrees centigrade since the pre-industrial time. When we talk about sustainability, it's quite amazing to know that the fossil fuels that we use today were formed or stored from thousands and millions of years on this very one planet. But we are using to the brim from the past 100 years. And it comes with a costly price where our temperature global temperature is risen by 1.5 degrees almost, 1.2 degrees. When we say that, what is happening? Extreme weather, wildfires, droughts, rising sea levels, all these are effects of this. Who else knows the effect of this more than Indonesia? Indonesia's capital as of today, Jakarta, is 40% of the entire city is below the sea level. And certain parts in Jakarta and the northern parts are going below few meters every decade down. And there's a combination of issues. It's not only going down, but it raises a lot of alarms. And northern parts of Jakarta every year is sinking down. So true enough, government is making alternate arrangements, including building a capital in the new city. But how many of the people attached to the city, they born, they brought up, their children, their generations are there. It's not that easy to move everyone from a city. Of course, we may move administrations and whatever, but still, emotionally, there are a lot of people that belong to the city. It is quite challenging to handle this situation. But who are the top CO2 emitters? Here is the list. I have given the data here. What is important is these 10 nations contribute to 70% of global emissions. But we have noticed that the community have noticed that some countries, Germany, Japan, Canada, are doing something. And they are making remarkable progress. Even in China, I'm a frequent visitor. In fact, 10 days ago, I was addressing a conference in China as well. The good thing in China, there are a lot of developments that are being done in China, normally doesn't appear in mainstream media throughout the world. Do you know that from last 2 years, every second new car that is coming on the road in China is electric car? And they have cut down their oil imports by more than 30%. The huge demand in the oil and coal. There are many natural resources they use, they actually import. They don't consume their own. And there are a lot of efforts that are being kept by China to remain their infrastructure, their trains, their superfast trains are one of the best in the world. But of course, there are traffic jams, there are still challenges. But what I'm trying to say, some countries still doing their best to cut down their carbon emissions. And we also see Indonesia at the 8th place. But Asian countries, I would say, are protecting this planet, connecting to this environment is something to our culture. Only the thing is, because of in the name of the development, we have no choice. We have to build cities, and when we are doing so, we do not practice the best sustainable practices that are allowing us to produce more CO2. So we move to the next point here. Next, please. Is my topic when I say, okay, energy, transport, manufacturing, all these are consuming a lot of energy. They burn coal, they lead a lot of fossil fuels. And how about computing? When I started research at the time, it was estimated that 6% of total global CO2 emissions are related to computing. That's quite staggering amount. 20 years back, we do not have gadgets that we use today. Last time we carry so many equipment. We get a calculator, we get a phone, we get a torchlight in the night, we get so many things, camera, all these are separate. Now all merged together with one instrument, one gadget, where this gadget can do all those things. And we depend so much on these gadgets. And the future generation may not even know, how do I travel without Google Maps or something? Sometimes, I have friends, I'm sure you might have friends. And within the city also, even though they drive every day, they walk every day, they always use Google Map to move from one place to another. I also joke with them. Do you use Google Map from your bathroom to washroom to bedroom in your house? So that's how we depend on this. Coming to this, we have so much on depending on the technology that is using almost 6%, which now is being calculated at 2 to 4% of CO2 emissions are coming from this computing usage. So the mega corporates like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, they are also started realizing this issue, particularly the data centers. We need a lot of data. We build data centers. We store data. To store the data and to access the data, we have cloud computers. We keep a lot of servers, and these servers need to operate 24/7. And then these servers need to be kept at optimal temperature. Not only the building, the machines, everything need to be kept, and then we need a lot of energy for that. Let's look at next slide, please. This is green computing, refers to the study and practice of designing, manufacturing, using, and disposing the computers. Normally, we do not give a lot of importance to dispose the equipment. I see very few people that dispose in a proper way. And please remember that disposing our equipment, the electronic equipment, particularly the computing gadgets, is a huge risk to the environment, because some of the materials, they take years, particularly the plastic, hundreds of years to dissolve. It's a huge impact on the environment. And we may think that, oh, these are all corporate. I don't sit in the data center every day. I do not know how much energy they use and all. I will tell you one simple example today. We do use email, all right? Every day, morning to evening. If you are in a senior management position, I probably reply 100 plus emails. I'm sure with you guys on the senior management. Had anyone thought about what is the effect of every email that we send? Anyone? Just wild guess. How many grams of carbon does an email require? Next slide, please. We send an email, one email, that will release 3 grams of carbon. It was calculated as 6 grams, 4.5 to 6 grams at one point of time. Because of so much of the technology, now we reduced at least to 3 grams. If you send a long attachment with the email, it will release so many grams of CO2 into the atmosphere. For example, if you send 100 emails like myself, in an year, I'm causing 3 to 5 grams of carbon that is being released into the atmosphere. But can we live without email? When I presented this survey, if I'm not wrong, in 2016 in the UK, my colleagues were surprised. Oh, unknowingly, I'm causing so much carbon emissions myself by sending so many emails. But we can't stop working without email, can we? So, request to all of us is, from my research, I found that every one of us can practice a simple techniques and we can make a big difference. And please do not include a big attachments if not necessary, and do not copy and BCC to the entire community if it is not required, and limit the usage so that we also can contribute something to the environment. How about next please. So what I'm suggesting today, this technology, not only practicing that a better computing, oh, thank you. We also our data centers. Now, if we look at Google's DeepMind, AI, that is, they have achieved 40% of reduction from the previous usage. But no matter what we are going to do, there is a limitation. Can we do something better? That is where exactly the next generation of computing, which we are talking about now on quantum computing. What's quantum computing? How it can help? I leave the technical details of quantum computing today because my topic today is how do we conserve energy? Because, yeah, left brain people like me, sometimes we talk continuously talking about computing, we could be boring because most of the people do use the gadgets and the instruments, but they don't want to pay details on how it is being generated and blah, blah, blah. Because some of you are right brain efficient people who are arts and culture related people. So let me take you to the quantum computing. How many of you are aware of quantum computers? Anyone? I'm not going to conduct an exam. Just say if you are aware or you heard about quantum computing. Okay, how our computers work? Anyone? Normal computer, forget about quantum computing, normal computer. 0 and 1. 0 is no electricity, 1 is electricity supply. So there is an on and off switch at the base level, if I explain to you a fundamental, and a series of on, off that is converted into 0 and 1, and we put it into a series of codes. Each has a binary code. We call it as binary code, an alphabet, and zeros and 1 numerical. It will be computed, and then we are getting the results. And this process happens at a high speed. We don't even realize how many times zeros and ones. But traditional computing so far, we have either 0 or 1 at one point of time. But what quantum computing does, this bit may have both 0 and 1 at the same time, given on the same instance. That means the bit could be 0 or could be 1 or together. That means the sequence of operation 0, 1, 1, 2, or sorry, 0, 1, 1 twice, 2 means twice, or 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, it is only one time one value. but quantum computing allows to have both together at the same time. Now you see the power of this computing. Overnight, you can reduce the time to quadruple, because you don't have to follow a sequence. It will be cut down to 4 times, because the bit could have 0 and 1 at the same point of time. And how it is going to help us? This allows certain computations to perform at 4 times the speed. This is a base Laban calculation, 4 times the speed that what a traditional computer is doing. Imagine the effect. It will cut down the processing time. It will cut down the speed. Then automatically it cut down the energy that it is required. Then we cut down the energy, we save the carbon emissions. That is my research and my point today in a base point. Not only 1 or 2, there are a lot of people now investing on quantum computing, which now we call it as a paradigm shift. If you look at optimization, including DVF systems and Volkswagen, they have their quantum algorithms. Even they tried on reducing the taxi traffic that see, cutting the ideal time by 20% in Beijing traffic. By doing the electric grid management and warehouse energy distribution, this technology is going to cut down our energy usage by substantial amount. Next, please. So in green technology, IBM has Quantum and ExxonMobil. They are using quantum simulation. And one more thing is they are designing a new set of algorithms. And these algorithms acts as a multiplier for both green technologies that will enable batteries and more efficient panels that cut down the processing time. Next slide, please. As I mentioned, in classical computing, energy cost per logic operation is approached the Landauer limit, that is KT in 2. But in quantum computing, which is operating on reversible quantum gates, theoretically now allows computation with lower thermodynamic energy cost. The only challenge now we are having is quantum computers and hardware operate at cryogenic cooling. That means almost 0. We need a specific huge investment on lab where we need to keep the processor and be close to the 0. That's the only challenge now. If we overcome this challenge in the coming 10 years, the way we use gadgets, the way we use data is entirely going to be different. Entirely going to be different. Next slide, please. Who leads? Now, of course, IBM in USA, China, they are also using European Union, Japan, India, and few countries, Germany, Denmark, Finland, they're also having their quantum computers who are involved in certain operations. Next, please. We talk about Asia. Digital economy is expanding at a humongous rate, which is 20% per year. Indonesia as well, national energy policy target 23% of renewable energies to be cut down by 2025 and aims to be net zero by 2060. Which is very good. And they are also investing on green computing infrastructure, and the new capital is built as green capital. Same thing going on in Bali as well. Data centers and quantum-enabled green eye. and efficient data processing is also being observed in Bali. What are the challenges? Next, please. What are the challenges we still getting? Whatever promise we say, as I mentioned, quantum computing still needs a lot of development in terms of developing new algorithms that will reduce the dependency, because qubits need to operate in a separate algorithms. And also ethical and socio-economic standardization and security. And I would like to share one of my experience in terms of cybersecurity. There is something called quantum entanglement. Now people talk about quantum entanglement. This was there from Einstein time. Einstein mentioned this a spooky development in the far, meaning when we bring two atoms together and we entangle them in a quantum entanglement, no matter what, how far is the atoms are separated, any change to one atom will affect immediately, instantly on the second atom, which is quantum entangled, no matter for how far is these two atoms are separated. China has developed this technology around 4 years ago, and they applied to cybersecurity. And they tested between a data transfer between Beijing and South Africa. Probably the distance is 12,800 plus miles. But the change that they applied for the data in Beijing instantly affected in South Africa, Durban. Meaning, in future, this quantum entanglement is going to change the way we use our banking, cybersecurity algorithms. Eventually, it is going to be very tough for someone to crack and to interfere into data transmission, to hack any computer. It's going to be difficult. Now already the threat, because traditional computer, which are being operated in sequence, when we apply quantum logic, it is easy to break any code, we can hack anything, because the passwords that we put, the combinations, quantum computers can run millions of times faster than traditional computer. But once this quantum technology is achieved, it will be very difficult for anybody to hack. The encryption and decryption is going to be so severe and tough for anybody. China has tested it. Despite it promise, these are various challenges. And next, please. The global research now focusing on various topics like what we call quantum machine learning, quantum annealing, quantum simulation, quantum enhanced AI. These are the research that is going on. For all, if there are anybody here that are interested in the IT and the data researches, this is the future. There are many areas that are at early stages of development in quantum technology. This is the time you spend your study and your research on this technology. There are a lot of opportunities for everyone. Next, please. Technological progress must not outpace ethical consideration. When we are using the quantum computing, we also need collaborative governance from institutions like UNESCO, OECD, and ASEAN to ensure equitable access, because now the access for quantum computing is very, very limited because of the huge investment that is limited. The countries that I mentioned, only they are using, whereas others are not having the opportunity to harness this technology. But we should have this technology to be available to everyone. By 2035, next please, it is plausible that quantum computing will shift from research labs. Today, it is only based on research and someone like me only talking about this. But in the coming 10 years, this is the future, which will help data center energy to be reduced by 30 to 40%, integrating quantum simulation into material science may cut down 50% of energy usage. And accordingly, this could save 1 to 2 billion tons of CO2 that is being released into the atmosphere every year. Next, please. So I would like to request the community to embed in green and quantum thinking, create cross-disciplinary researches, encourage industry and academia partnerships, adopt transparent methods, and promote public awareness to have this coming technology to be available to each and everyone. In 1960s, next please, Gordon Moore predicted that transistor density would double every 2 years. But what we are seeing today is new frontier, not of smaller transistor, but smarter computer are getting double. Quantum computing gives us a rare opportunity to redefine progress and planetary well-being. The future, I am sure, is entirely going to be dependent on this technology very soon. What we would see by the next 5 to 10 years, the entire data centers, the use of technology, the speed, everything going to be dependent on this quantum technology qubits. So once again, I thank the organizers and this wonderful university for giving me this opportunity to speak to you all today on this emerging technology. Thank you very much. Please, any questions, please?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ala, Professor Ala. I think we will wait for the question and answer session towards the end. I would just also like to remind everyone that we have both participants on site as well as on Zoom. I'm monitoring the questions on Zoom as well. For participants joining us online, you can type your question on the chat and you can address it to either Dr. Ala or Dr. Yogi later on. Before we move on to the next presenter, I would like to state that the committee, to encourage interaction, question and answer later on, for both those of you who are here in the main hall as well as those joining on Zoom, if you have any questions, asking any questions, we have some gifts from sponsors that we can share with you. For those who are joining online, we will get it to you somehow. Just make sure that you contact our committee later on. All right. So before we going on to the question and answer section, I would like to invite our next speaker, Undira's own Dr. Yogi. He will share with us his research findings as well as his knowledge about fermented foods in Bali, titled Unveiling Sociocultural, Nutritional, and Microbial Aspects of Balinese Fermented Foods. This is where nutrition science and food technology meets local wisdom. The time is yours.
Thank you, Pak Chris. Good morning, everyone. Your Honorable Rector and Vice Rector, distinguished speakers and moderators. So today I will talk about a bit of my expertise and also beyond my expertise. So I will present about the socio-cultural. Could you please play the slide, please? So I'm just going to stand here so I can see my slide. Okay, unveiling sociocultural, nutritional, and microbial aspect of Balinese fermented foods. So we are going to learn about history of fermented foods. So as we all know that fermented foods is very common in Indonesia and all over the globe. So we trace back to ancient practice that dates back of thousands of years. Actually, this method or this practice already conducted by Egyptian. So first, so they put all the raw ingredients in the room temperature and let it for like weeks. So eventually they accidentally found a new product. For example, yogurt. So does anyone here knows about yogurt? I believe that most of European yogurt is also a staple. Yeah, and also in this inscription from the Egypt, the earliest evidence can be traced back to around 7,000 BC in China, where people brew fermented beverage. So they put the rice milk or something, and then they put in some like a pottery made from clay, and then they ferment it for around a month. So in Mesopotamia, bread and beer became staples thanks to this practice fermentation. And the fun fact is, the ancient Egypt, they love bread and beer, so that consider bread and beer a gift. It's a gift to the gods. Okay. So this is the map of the traditional fermented foods around the world. So actually, there are 4 types of fermentation: alcoholic, lactic acid, bread, and also amino acid. So in Indonesia, we have like tempe, we have like tauco, and in Bali we have urutan, tua, bram, and one more thing, sere dele. Does any of you know sere dele? Sere dele is Balinese natto. You can find it only in Sukawati village. Only in Sukawati village. So this is the Korean. Okay. So the Korean have used this pottery to preserve raw ingredients back in 8000 BCE. Yeah. So everything, Korean love fermentation so much that their raw ingredients always fermented to enhance flavor and umami flavor. So this is the rich heritage. So actually, we are Balinese also performed this practice a long time ago. So what is the cultural practice? So cultural practice, like we embed it in rituals and daily tradition. We use Bram and Tua as a ceremony, especially for big ceremony like Galungan, Kuningan, and other ceremonies that is involving Tua as a tools to communicate with ancestors. So they believe that this practice can communicate or can neutralize deities or demons or negative impact. So this alcoholic beverage can neutralize this effect. And also the Balinese fermented food also contain high nutritional value, also contain essential bioactive compounds that can bring health effect to our body when consumed, and also microbial, the complexity of microbial diversity in Balinese fermented food. So what is the social cultural importance of Balinese fermented food? We use this as a ceremonial significance. As I mentioned before, that fermented foods is particularly tua or palm wine, or I can say in English, it's like a toddy. It's like a hot toddy. Yeah, palm wine is essential to religious ceremonies, life cycle rituals, and communities celebration. Yeah, we drink this as a part of like a celebrate or something. Yeah, and then cultural continuity. This process also can be transmitted across generation, and the recipe is passed through generation. So in terms of economic importance, our government or local government always support this palm wine. So the government like issuing legal law so that this palm wine can be marketed globally, and also they have a standard to produce safe and delicious palm wine. And also social cohesion. So this fermentation practice can help or can bring the communities to make together to prepare and sharing knowledge about the communities. So I'm gonna try to spotlight on tuak Balinese palm wine. Tuak derived from the sap of various palm species, or we all know that tuak jaka, or Balinese. I don't know. Jaka is like belongs to the coconut family, but it has like a smaller fruit compared to coconut, regular coconut. And this is quite interesting because it occupies a unique cultural position within Indonesian Muslim majority context. So as a ritual function, Balinese, you always use this tua as offerings. The fun fact is, in ancient people, they believe that why they use alcoholic beverage as offerings, because they believe that alcohol can lower the brain waves. So it helps them to relax. So if they relax, they can communicate with their ancestor. So that's the ritual aspect of this palm wine. Also, a similar tradition also found in Flores. It's called Kalo and Rokomolas Pocho. This ritual from Flores utilize palm wine to communicate with their ancestor. So also this also found in traditional Batak. They also use this tua as tools to communicate with their ancestor. And this is the map where tua is spread all over Indonesia, but they have different terminology. In Bali, we call tua, berem tua. In Eastern Indonesia, moke, and also ara. Yeah, that's the terminology of tua in Indonesia. So in Bali, tua is made from the sap of jaka. So the best sap is harvest during rainy season. That's the best sap, because the sap is the main ingredients to produce tua. And also there are various type of tua, like tua jaka, tua nyoh. That means made from the coconut, and tua ental. So tua jaka is predominantly produced in Tenganan. If you want to buy the best tua jaka, you can find in Tenganan, Gumung, and Bandung in Karangasem. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is in Karangasem Regency. Karangasem, yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So prior to palm wine production, there are 3 steps, like ngayunan, noto, and nada. So actually, tuak jaka has a pleasant taste and neutral taste. If you drink more often, if you often drink palm wine, that may lead to frequent urination, yeah, because it has diuretic effect. This drink has a diuretic effect. First, ngayunan. Ngayunan is like a sway the jaka they can harvest So this is the sequence of tua production. After they get the sap, so they put it in the pottery made from clay, and then they ferment it for around 2 days, 3 days, according to the producer. If they want like a old tua, they will ferment it like a week or a month. So they will get a higher alcoholic beverage content. So let's move on to next slide, please. So this is the temple relief from temple in Candi in Prambanan. It shows that the habit drinking fermented beverage consumed by all social class. So this is indicating that this palm is already in Indonesia like 901 and 902 AD. Next slide. So what is the nutritional profile of Balinese palm wine? So this palm wine contain simple sugar like glucose and also fructose and also sucrose. That's why it provides energy. But I do not recommend this if you suffer from diabetic type 2 or type 1. I do not recommend it. And also, palm wine also contain bioactive compound that serve as antioxidant or anti-aging, and also contain organic acid. Yeah, this organic acid is act as natural preservation. Next slide, please. So actually, it's not really that bad if you drink palm wine occasionally, not every day. Okay. So what about the microbial diversity? According to our research, like Saccharomyces cerevisiae, this is the main microorganism in Balinese palm wine because this microbe act as primary ethanol producer in fermentation, and also Lactobacillus Weissela. This is also contribute to bioactive compound and also flavor development during fermentation. So actually, these microbial communities contribute the flavor or also the properties of Balinese palm wine. Next slide, please. Now we go to urutan. I believe most of you love urutan, but most of urutan we found in market or in traditional market is deep frying urutan, not fermented. You can find fermented urutan in baturi tea. If you go to Bedugul, yeah, you can find fermented urutan. So I will highlight this fermented urutan. So social culture, this urutan often consumed in most religious events in Bali. Also serve as a communal gathering and also symbols of prosperity and devotion to the cause because their abundance. So Balinese people utilize all of pig part as a dish. So for social events, like people work together to prepare rutan because prepare rutan is quite time consuming and quite tedious because you have to chop the meat and also you have to chop the spices and then you put it in the pig intestine, similar to European sausage. What is the difference between Balinese sausage and European sausage? The difference is we use a lot of spices. For example, like this. Now, you can see that urutan can be served in variety of dishes in Balinese culinary. So this is the spices we use. And as you can see in the figure below, that the Balinese people dry or fermented their urutan in under the sun for like 3 to 5 days. It depends on their taste. If they want a bit dry, they can hang it or they can ferment it for 5 days. This is the spices used in the making of urutan. Yeah, it's quite complex. We call it basa genap. Basa genap is mean like a big spices because we use a lot of spices. So these spices will affect the nutritional profile and microbial dynamics of urutan. So according to our research, we found that urutan in Baturiti is dominated by Lactobacilli and Weissila species. Is it safe to eat raw? Yes, probably. Yes, probably. But if we found that urutan produced in warmer climates such as Gianyar and Tabanan has more diverse bacterial dynamics. So that's why it's very prone to spoilage. Yeah, prone to spoilage, and also it's not easy to handle. It's you have to process, you have to fry it before you eat it. So if this is our current research in 2024, as you can see that the red bars, this is the urutan from, there is urutan from Baturiti. Baturiti is like have a colder climate, so they have a more standard quality compared to urutan in Gianyar or Tabanan. So this is the nutritional profile of urutan. So for those of you who are a big fan of urutan, this is very interesting information because the fat level is quite high, not quite, very high. Yeah, and then the protein is very high, and also the fat is come from the fat of the pork because they use belly fat to create a very pungent flavor and also smooth texture. And also pork contain vitamin B and also essential minerals. So what is the health and functional benefits of this fermented Balinese fermented food? As I mentioned before, that this Balinese fermented food contain potential probiotic that will help to regulate the microbiota in your gut, and also contain bioactive metabolites, since like amino acids, yeah, simple amino acid, and also enhance digestibility, and also anti-aging protection. So what is the challenge and opportunities for Balinese fermented food? There are 3 issues, which is quality standardization, safety assurance, and traditional preservation. We need to develop a good standard for this to answer this challenge. And also for the market development, we can promote Balinese fermented food as dual asset, cultural treasure and functional food, creating market value and economic sustainability for local producer. So in terms of scientific validations, collaborative research must be conducted interdisciplinary, because this study we cannot do this alone. We need help from other scientific major, such as from culinary expert. Also, we need from the law in terms of legal, and also from the economic science. So what we can conclude about this celebrating Balinese fermented heritage. So Balinese cultural, our Balinese fermented foods, this sociocultural, nutrition, and also microbial, this can intersect to create system to profound significance. Yeah. So by understanding and preserving this tradition through rigorous interdisciplinary research, we strengthen community identity and also promote human health, and as well as demonstrate the value of traditional knowledge. So in the end of my talk, in Center of Excellence for Nutribiome, or in Bahasa PUIPT Nutribiome, we welcome all major. We welcome all scientific major to collaborate with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yogi. Yeah, I would like to open it now to the floor for any questions. Once again, for those who are in the Zoom, you may use the chat feature to ask questions. If anybody here in the audience would like to ask a question for either Dr. Ala or Dr. Yogi, please go ahead. We have one question and two. We have two so far. Please, Pak Bagus will guide you. Please stand up and introduce yourselves, your institution, to whom the question is directed, and then the question. Silakan.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Mirza. I would like to give question to Professor Rao. Well, Professor Rao, your presentation mentioned about the quantum computing that transform the digital world into one that more cleaner and responsible. I'm not the expert of that area, but as a linguist, I'm curious to know about the way how we can communicate with the society about that. Especially, what would be an effective communication strategy to educate the public that the green technology, especially in multilingual and multicultural context, such as Indonesia, especially in Bali. Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for the question. Sorry, I didn't get your name.
Mirza.
Thank you, Miss Mirza. As I was talking about in my earlier presentation, Asians normally, we connect a lot with the environment. Unless there is a huge development, we are forced to adopt new technologies. If not, we are always connected to environment. And Bali is exceptionally, as I read, and so many times I have visited here in the past. People are naturally connected to the environment. You respect. I have seen people respecting the environment a lot. Daily lives are connected so closely. How we take care of the environment. Coming back to the green computing and quantum computing. To train the people and create awareness, this is what I think the best way is. We start from micro level to the macro level. Micro level is first is, if we are talking about the green computing, every individual usage of our computing can be improved. I don't say that don't use computer too much, don't use printer, don't use this. Then when we put restrictions, people move away from the methodology, because I want to use computer, your system or your method, saying don't use computer, that doesn't work. So the best way is, for example, simple things. When we use a desktop or our notebook, if we put 15 to 20 minutes screensaver that do not use the charge again, that when we don't use the screensaver, automatically the screen shut down. Then we can save the energy. Printing. If it is not required, do not print. And if it is not required to send a huge attachment to all the people in the community, do not use it. These are the macro level things that we can reduce the usage, which indirectly contribute to the energy that indirectly directly connect to the carbon emissions. This is one simple everyone can use at micro level. And create this awareness in the community, in the classrooms, saying that how do we use gadgets? How do we optimize using it? And that can start from the classroom itself, in the laboratories, everywhere. And you can start a campaign, conduct a seminar like this, encourage two of your staff to involve in green computing research. There's a lot of things can be done. And this research, the awareness, it helps a lot. Many people, when they are aware of this, they would like to practice. We are not forcing anyone, but we are saying that by doing this, you are saving carbon emissions. Everybody is interested. By not sending an email, unnecessary email, you're saving. Not sending a big attachment, you're saving. Why not? One more thing is, how do you dispose the e-waste, what we call as e-waste? Once you don't use the equipment anymore, how do you properly dispose? Maybe you can donate to someone who can use it, or maybe you follow a proper recycling, where your e-waste is properly recycled. These are the things we do at macro level. The next thing, your question is about quantum computing. Quantum computing is something like, so far, whatever I said, it's still in the research labs, and big organizations like IBM, Google, Microsoft, and so on. Google have recently developed their very own quantum computer, quantum machine. But this, at this point of time, require huge investment and huge environment in terms of keeping the processor at the sub-zero level temperature, then only the quantum computer is working. But eventually, there is a lot of research and investment going on throughout the world. Eventually, next 5 to 10 years, we are going to see a lot of difference that is coming into quantum computing. That investment and that research from our side, when you mention Bali and Indonesia, we can create awareness among the community, saying that there's a new technology that is coming in. There's a lot of research going on. Spend some time on reading and understanding. Encourage one of your staff or encourage some seminar only on quantum computing. This is just to create awareness. Encourage young minds in the classrooms to incline towards what is going on in the global research. And then they get connected. They know what is going on in the research, and they know about the updates. They know about the new research that is going on. Once that is done, they are able to prepare themselves for the new dimension that is going to come in. And this faster processing capacity going to reduce the speed. People talking about quadruple time. That means we are able to do some calculation using the supercomputer. Suppose within 100 seconds, quantum machine can do it within 25 seconds or less. That much difference it is going to have. Simple. We are all using handphone now. We are used to the speed. If suddenly someone give a machine or a gadget that is lesser in speed, none of us would like to use. Why I go too far? If the signal is not good here, our receiving signal is not good, the data speed is not good, I don't want to see into the internet. I don't want to wait. When we learn, I remember my hard disk of my own PC was 3 gigabytes, 3 gig. We used to feel so great. The RAM, I use 128, 256 MB RAM. Oh, we think so great, it's good enough. 3 gig now, forget about hard disk. One attachment is also nowadays is coming for 3 gig or some simple video file we can share, compress and we share. 3 gig is nothing today. The speed is the same. So when people going and using the latest and modern technology, quantum computing and all, so automatically they are going to use it. That helps in many ways to reduce the carbon emissions, to process the data much, much, much faster than we are using. So many things are possible. We can do in healthcare, we can do in climate change. There are a lot of possibilities. So please keep arranging this kind of discussions, awareness, prepare the children or students in the class that they are aware of what is going on and create an environment in a way we can do this kind of awareness. Thank you. Did I answer your question? Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. The second question is from Angga. Go ahead.
Thank you. Let me introduce myself. My name is Putu Angga Wiradana. The question is for Dr. Yogeshwara. I like your presentation and your explanation about the fermented traditional food, especially in Bali, because I like the urutan, smoked urutan. I hope you know. The question is, how do we can maintain the stability of the probiotics or diversity of good microbia in our digestive system? Is it possible that the basa genap, you say a basa genap, the big seasoning in Bali to have a nutritional content? Is it possible to that the basa genap found in Balinese culture heritage has a prebiotics? Can affect the maintains the abundance or diversity of a good bacteria in the guts. You have research or explanation about that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Angga. So your the first question is about urutan, right? So actually, our recent study, currently we are doing like we want to create a culture, starter culture. So this starter culture obtained from urutan, it will help to standardize the microbial diversity in urutan. So that will help urutan. It's not easy to spoil. You know, the problem when Balinese people try to make a fermented urutan, they are very easy to very easy to spoil. So that's why the function of the starter culture will help to stabilize this urutan. So I hope our research can help to maintain the safety and also standardization of Balinese urutan. And also the second question is about the spices, right? Okay, basa genap. Okay, actually basa genaps is not a prebiotic. It is more like anti-aging properties in Balinese food. In most Balinese food, basa genap not only to give like a tangy flavor, spice flavor, but also can help to preserve the food. Yeah, something like that, Pak Angga.
Thank you. And I answer a question for Pak Angga. We have one more question here from Pak Wisnu.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ala, for the insightful speech. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Dr. Ala, we now conducting some works in Dianapura University related to Green Campus. My question is, in your opinion, what step that can we can make to reduce the carbon footprint, yeah, in campus, and then how can quantum computing, yeah, quantum can be implemented on campus. And for Dr. Yogi, it's about Balinese sausage, ya, urutan, ya. Urutan is made from fork, yeah, covered by intestine, yeah. Is it possible for us to make the urutan from other meat? For example, chicken or beef? Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Yogi.
Thank you. Dr. Vidana.
Dr. Wisnu.
Thank you. Two parts of your question. The first one is, how do you bring a quantum computer on campus? That's very simple. If your management have long pocket, so they can invest and get one. That is just joking, but it is costing a lot now because it's very research-oriented machine. But however, the government can support. I'm not so sure here, but in other countries and all, the government is getting involved, and then they want to encourage the researchers to come and involve in the new technology. Probably the best way is you prepare an research focus group here that can request some funds from the government who can invest, because it's the upcoming technology. I'm sure many government units are interested to invest, so that a team of people here will become experts, and then they can transfer the technology to the other. That's possible, very much possible. And also some of the corporations, big corporations, they would like to invest. You talk about Google, IBM and all. It's possible. You can, this group, research group can write to them, and then someone have to, like yourself, lead them and guide them and try to get some funding. That's possible. And coming to the second question of your green campus, that's a very good intention. I share my experience rather than it is not appropriate for me to advise here what you should do, but I tell what my experience. In my previous experience on one campus, what I did was I started first making plastic-free campus. That's very tough. It's a huge campus. 6,000 students come and go in and out every day. Only students and the parents and everyone you imagine. And there's a food court inside the campus who every time use plastic left, right, center. To start with, we started with what we call single-use plastic-free, which eliminate the bottle. I faced the toughest challenge because many departments don't like. Because the minute I say that don't use the PET bottle, this is called, it is going to a challenge. Every event that's happening in the university and every usage this is what the bottle, recyclable, reusable bottle, and we started using this. Initially, there's a lot of resistance, but we have given them 6 months time, phase by phase, to eliminate single-use plastic. That worked very well after 6 months. And we have explained to students, we have explained to staff saying that why we are going this one. We have showed a lot of data. Marine life is being affected. Every other, the intake, the food that we take is already contaminated with the plastic. And this plastic is not going to dissolve. And the life of these plastics, some are 500 to 1,000 years. That means even if it go to the earth, it will remain there for the next 1,000 years. Some are even longer than radioactive material. But now we are using plastic that is cheaper, so we don't care about anything, we just buy. And then we throw everywhere. Yes, human. But what helped for us is when we calculated with the single-use plastic free, and we have requested the food court to remove all the plastics. We managed to do it, but we give them 6 months time. And then the green computing methods that what I have just mentioned, and we made the e-office, all official communications, no paper. No paper. And then we started communicating with the emails. And every communication started digitally. And within a year, we managed to get an app for the students to use. Students can register, can look at their timetable, can register for the subjects. And even if they want to change the subject within the time, they can do it on the app. They can pay. And they receive the email communication, everything on the mobile, this app. And that helped us a lot. Teaching materials can access. Now you guys are using LMS, so we no need to use the paper that much. So we cut down all those things. In a span of a year to 2 years, we have reduced a lot. And at the end of the second year, we managed to invite an auditing firm to come and go through the audit, and they award us as a green campus. This campus is not only the green environment that you are building. You have a nice pool around the lake, and there are a lot of plants you put. There's grass, and Honorable Rector showed me that you are using the place for sports and other activities. Even outsiders can come and use. That's okay. But it is beyond that. And how do we use inside our environment to make things better? And then we have requested our IT department to visit labs and staff, whoever are using their desktops, to be set for 15 minutes. If someone do not touch the machine, automatically it go to the sleep. So these various techniques we implemented, and first 6 months was very tough. Let me share with you, because many people don't like it. Suddenly we say that, oh, ban plastic, ban this, ban that. They didn't like it. But when we explained, they understood. And they started cooperating. And the rest is okay. Within 2 years, our campus is awarded as green campus, plastic-free campus. And that was the first at the time. Thank you.
Thank you. The next one for Dr. Yogi.
Okay. So your question is it possible to make it from chicken or beef, right? The answer is yes. It's very possible. If you want to make it halal, you can substitute the pig with chicken or beef. As long as you add Balinese spices, bahasa genap, you can call it urutan. If you don't add those spices, you cannot call it urutan, because urutan is identical with bahasa genap. Thank you.
I have some questions from online, so thank you for those who are participating from Zoom. It just so happens that all of the questions online are for Dr. Yogi, so please be ready. Let me read off the first one from John Salmar Saragih. Maybe you are aware that different areas in Indonesia have their own versions of tuak. How is the Balinese tuak different from the Batak and the Manado tuak in its function and its cultural importance?
Uh, Actually, the difference is, I think, is the maturity of the tua. Probably in Batak, they tend to like old tua, but in Bali, we like a more soft and a bit young,
Less alcohol,
less alcoholic,
alcoholic.
and also in perspective or ritual context, Balinese tend to use old tua as tools for in most ritual ceremonies.
Okay, I have two questions that are related to each other. The first is from Bapak Inyoman Cahyadi Wijaya. So gastronomy is now growing as one of the strategic industry, and there could also be what we call gastro diplomacy. So how can we make fermented food like sere, ara, tua, and these things as a tool for gastro diplomacy? That's one. And the second one is related to that from Indah Lestari. How can this strategy be implemented to promote that this fermented food can be globally accepted while still maintaining their cultural authenticity?
Yeah, the question is quite tough. Yeah, actually, that's why we we need to have a standard. For example, in our research group, we try to develop starter cultures that will help to stabilize the fermented foods. However, this approach technology, requires technology. So that's why that's the challenge for us. If we want Balinese fermented foods to reach out globally, and then if you want to promote this, we can actually introduce in the exhibition, international exhibition, and also we need to modify the spices, because I believe that Western, they cannot handle our spices. Is it true? I think
Maybe the students can attest
from
that
student,
it's hard to handle the
I think-
Indonesian spices.
how many of you can handle our spices? How many of you can handle Balinese spices?
Strong Balinese spices.
See, that's why. So
They
we need to
get
modify
Bali
the recipe.
belly.
Yeah, we need to modify the spices, so people from around the world can accept our spices. I believe
Can you modify the spices while still maintaining authenticity?
this is the challenge for us. That's why at the end of my talk, we welcome from the culinary scientists.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
And one question is also related from Nana Trianasari from Undiksa. So we have identified the potentials of local fermented drinks as alternatives to those imported liquors that can be served in hotel, restaurants, bars across the island. This is probably anywhere from kombucha to arak. But it's challenging for some local producers to get legal licenses. How do we deal with that?
Uh, yeah. It's a, it's a from a legal perspective, so I need to be careful to answer. I'm aware that alcohol beverage is very strict in Indonesia. So you need to build a standardized infrastructure to make alcoholic beverage. Because if the alcoholic fermentation is spoiled, is decay during production, that will accumulate methanol. So methanol is very dangerous to us, because a few years ago, there's an accident. Some methanol found in wine, in Balinese wine. So they had to deal with the officer.
And
So-
this is what can create food poisoning.
Yeah, that will cause food poisoning and food toxic. Yeah, for toxicity. Yeah, I suggest that they need to read further about the regulation, and they have to build a very strict facility in order to do that.
All right. So thank you for the interactions from online as well. We are going to keep the names of the participants that are online, and we'll get to you your gifts as well as those who are here. Just allow me to screenshot it here that we can remember. All right, everyone. That is the time that we have for the keynote speech portion of the I-CFAR 2025. We will continue again in the afternoon, of course, with your insights as presenters, as well as the participants are, of course, welcome to join our parallel sessions. But for now, I would like to return the program to the MC. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Putu Kris, who have lead all the speakers, keynote speakers, discussions, and please remain on the stage. In regards of our appreciation towards Professor Tamaki Okabayashi, PhD, we are going to present the certificate of appreciation on the screen. All right, please give a warm applause for Professor Tamaki Okabayashi, PhD. And we also invite Rector to the stage to hand out the token of appreciation accompanied by the committee chair. First, please, Pak Rector, with Dr. Wisnu. First, the token of appreciation will be presented to Dr. I-CFAR Rao. Thank you, Dr. I-CFAR Rao. And now the second token of appreciation will be handed out to Dr. Naktek Ida Bagus Agung Yogeswara. Thank you, Dr. Naktek Ida Bagus Agung Yogeswara. And the last, the token of appreciation for our moderator, Bapak Putu Kris Susanto, who lead us for the discussion today. Thank you, Mr. Putu Kris Susanto. All right, and distinguished guests, we are going to have the picture taken on the stage. Thank you. Professor Dr. Igusti Bagus Rayu Utama and the chair committee, please remain on the stage, Pak. Yeah, and the keynote speaker, please may be seated. Yes, thank you for the insight. And we are in this great moment, we would like to also hand it out the token of appreciation for all of the presenters who are here, and they are asking the question earlier for the Q&A session. The first, we would like to invite Dr. Mirza to be on the stage. to receive a gift. And Mr. Angga, and also the last one, Dr. Wisnu. And presenters and participants who are asking through online session, the gift will be going to be sent to your address. Thank you, the Rector of Universitas Dianapura and the head of committee. Dear presenters and participants, please don't forget to complete the attendance by scanning the QR code that will be displayed shortly by the committee. And we are going to enter the break time. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have a break for lunch. So right now the time is 20 to 12. So we are going to return to the Zoom meeting at 12:30. So we are going to be here at 12:30 Bali time. And especially for presenters and participants who are in this room, we have a special agenda while you enjoy your lunch in this room. So for all of the presenters and participants who happen to be online today, please don't forget we are going to coming back to this Zoom platform at 12:30 p.m. Enjoy your lunch.
Bagi Bapak Ibu, silakan untuk kembali ke kursinya karena kita akan undi door prize. Jadi untuk Bapak Ibu di ruangan ini ada door prize.